Little Nightmares 3 just dropped 2 years after its announcement, and dude, I don't know man, I have very conflicting thoughts about this game, so let's break it down. First, I feel the need to mention that the first 2 Little Nightmares games are probably some of my favorite horror games, like, period. I feel like they stand out to me so much. The eerie looking visuals, the size comparisons you have with the other humans, and the other human just being so fucked. Like even the normal folk are kind of wrinkly and gross looking, god I love it. Also, the subtle silent storytelling and the metaphor of human gluttony and our animalistic want for power all being told without a single word of dialogue ever being muttered. Could talk about both of these games for hours, especially the second game. Like, it just sticks out in your brain and never really leaves. I feel like I have some moments from that game fully tattooed into my brain frame by frame. Anyway, does 3 live up to my expectations? Not really, no. I'm gonna get the good out of the way first. There were a couple moments in this game that were sick. A couple of the moments in the carnival and the final building with like the blind people, they were all sick as fuck in my opinion. I love the scale aspect of it. Like there's a couple characters in this game that are giant and you really feel a sense of scale in this game, a lot more than the previous ones, and I actually really like that about it. Their character designs are on point, just like all the other games. All of them are good, the playable characters, the antagonist, everybody. And it's just generally, objectively good fun. So if you're a fan of the previous games, I don't see why not play it. But I'm getting to the stuff I was kinda disappointed by. First of all, the game focuses a lot on the co-op, but the co-op kinda sucks. Generally, I think this game shouldn't have had co-op because the previous games didn't have it. Like, it's kinda weird this game focuses on that so much when the previous installments didn't focus on it at all. This would have been better as like a spin-off maybe, and the co-op itself kinda sucks as well. The multiplayer aspect was such a big thing in the marketing especially, but there's a lot of moments in this game where it doesn't feel like you're going through a bonding experience. It just feels like you're playing through the same game with someone else, if you get what I mean. And there is some puzzles that do require both people to do, but they're kind of few and far between, and a lot of them feature one person just standing there waiting for the cue while you have to do what you want to do. And in single player, it's also bad because sometimes you have to just wait for the computer to do their action to continue the game. Like, it's not like these things take up a large amount of the game, but they really stand out and it's a lose-lose. I hoped it would be like a game made by Hazelight or something, but instead it feels more like a Lego game. Don't get me wrong, I like Lego games. I've beaten like 7 of them and I'm not opposed to the idea of playing more, but Lego games are a very different vibe from what this game wants to be.
Dude, I tweeted I'm jizzing with some younglings.
I was hoping it was more like a We Were Here game. Those games require cooperation from both players at all times, but Little Nightmares 3 isn't that. Another thing I didn't like is just nothing really stood out. Like, everything in this game was disconnected. In the old Little Nightmares games, every area led to the next until you slowly reach the end goal, but in this they don't really have anything to do with each other, they're kinda random. And maybe that's good in a world building perspective, seeing so many different parts of the nowhere, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to me. Not to mention, one of the segments feels like a very big rehash, and the marketing was so focused on the carnival specifically, only for it to not really be anything special. It also doesn't really tie into anything the previous game set up, which proves even more that this should have been a spin-off. I already told you about the metaphor about human power and stuff. I won't tell you the exact reason why, but the theme of this game is loneliness. And I feel like that is already something that was already touched upon in the last one, and also doesn't really have a lot to do with the full story of the franchise, or the actual game itself, aside from the fact it focuses on 2 people. This next one might be a nitpick, but there's a noticeably large amount of long as hell chasing scenes, and just segments where it's not really telegraphed exactly what you have to do. And dude, it just doesn't stand out at all really. The other games stick in your brain, this one doesn't. Would I recommend this game? Yes. Is it very good or extremely enjoyable? Not really, it's just okay. I'ma give it a 6 out of 10. This game might be mid, but Reanimal looks terrifying. The soundtrack and the sound effects make the hairs on the back of my fucking neck stand up, bro. I cannot wait for 2026. Let's see Reanimal, bro.
I'm not gonna hit 40 deaths! Chad, you ever wanted to go on a hot air balloon ride?